Shalom, shalom, shalom. Peace and blessings, Zion. Giving double honors and glory to our Father KD, the royal house of King David. Peace and blessings. Kal halal Yahweh Bahashem HaMashiach Yahushai. Giving all praises, honor and glory to Yahweh Bahashem HaMashiach Yahushai. 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 Bahashem Kakadash. All praises, honor and glory due. Kwam Yasharal. Our topic today, one's calling at the door of the wicked. Before one delves into any precepts, one's going to show you some current events and come out of the scriptures of the Bible, the Apocrypha, and the Book of Enoch. Khan.
Until the philosophy which holds one race superior and the other inferior is finally and permanently discredited and abandoned, everywhere is war. Ziggy, I hear your father sing that, Remember Emperor Haile Selassie said that in a speech to the League of Nations, And you turn round and support the Israeli Defense Force, the people who have bombed hospital and kill picnic and kill woman and kill people who they in a shelter, refugee, a bomb tent. Ziggy, the father must roll in him grave for this man. He's a shame to the Mali name right now. Me I tell you that straight.
Khan, money is the root of all evil, pursuant to 1 Timothy chapter 6 verse 10 to 12, as one said in the last video, pursuant to Matthew 24, lawlessness and sin shall increase, Matthew 24 verse 12 to 13. And this guy, instead of raising 60 million for your own nation of people, you raise 60 million for our Lord Father's adversaries, those who stole our identity, those who are occupying our land. You can't make this shit up. It's like wicked. Money is the root of all evil. You see it everywhere. These 2/3 families, you help them, and when you're in time of need, you don't see them. Wicked, selfish and wicked. Just forward that, to the brothers, and it's an honor to be in the royal house of King David, where there is true love and real loyalty, in these times of wickedness. All praises. Next video.
And instead of people walking up and down the aisles of a traditional grocery store to pick up items, these little devices move more than 1 million items every day between them. Instead of trying to build machines that fit into a world designed for humans, this entire facility, the size of 7 football, is custom built to make it as efficient as possible. The top speed of those boxes is about 14 kilometers an hour, and they pass within 5 millimeters of each other when they move.
So there in that video, that's here in London, in the UK. You also got it in a place called Leeds. where these AI robots are taking over the jobs of the people, and all praises, you know. Next video.
Set you up, your homeboys, your friends. You've been in the street, you know, right? Family, dude, right? Grimy, low down individual. Now, I was just watching a video. Just watch this video. When I seen the video, it made me just say, I'm gonna make a video about this. Here's one of the many. Dude is in an apartment, and the people come in to rob, whatever, right? This man, I just want to say this, look, he's in an apartment, which means he don't own nothing. Which means he's struggling month to month, and he has to have somebody else's money, just like you do. Now, this was the kicker. I looked at the video later on down the thing. They in a wealthy neighborhood. They didn't go to the mansions. They didn't go to nobody with no money. They first thought was to rob somebody that's just as struggling as you is. Even if he got selling a pound or two, that ain't nothing. And then here's the thing, G. Here's the thing. They went to rob somebody in an apartment, and there's 3 of y'all. What you think he got in an apartment and 3 of y'all gotta split it? This is the mindset of black people. Y'all gonna rob, they don't even think, right? And then you sitting there with $1 million bond, and you talk big, and people to bond you out or send you money or give you visits and stuff. Man, you gotta be stupid. These are the type of people that I tell you, they walk right past all the mansions just to rob somebody of their own color that ain't got nothing and gotta pay somebody else month to month just to live. And these are the people they choose to go rob and kill. And then they walk past all the multi-millionaires. Can't even make this stuff up.
You know, conditioned minds, you know. This is the mindset of our own people. This is why we see the wickedness in our own community, our own nation of people who want to kill and rob our own and bypass our Lord Father's enemies, their enemies, to go rob their own. Conditioned people who are conditioned. The word that man used, it's the word name, man. The word name. Man, it'll come back to it. Condition, man, you know. Well, let's give you the precept for that, coming out of Deuteronomy 28, verse 54. Deuteronomy 28. One's going to read from verse 53 to 54, and it reads, "And thou shalt eat the fruit of thine own body, the flesh of thy sons and thy daughters, which the Lord thy power has given thee in the siege, and in the straitness wherewith thine enemies shall distress thee, is the meat." Verse 54, "So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil towards his brother." You hear that there? And very salaki, and so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil towards his brother. And that's what we see, you know. And toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. And this is what we see in our own community, you know, our own nation of people who can be wicked, and it's found in the 2/3 of our own people who are wicked and rebellious, you know. Want to go out there driving up and down like the Don Corleone with big thick chain round the neck, and this image look to say they're a god. You know, you're a piece of shit. Low power don't favor you. You're nothing. You're nothing. You know, take responsibility when it comes to your children, man. Instead of driving up and down showing that you got some kind of power when you ain't got fuck all, mate. In these times the way we are, you are nothing. Shame on you. And let's go to Psalms. Salaki, gonna show you. That was it for the current events. Let's go to Psalms 37. I'm going to read from verse 1. And not going to read the whole of this, just going to jump down to certain verses concerning the wicked. Psalms 37 verse 1, and it reads, fret not thyself because of evildoers, neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity. For they shall soon be cut down like the grass and wither as the green herb. Trust in the Lord and do good, so shall thou dwell in the land, and verily thou shalt be fed. Salaki. I'm going to jump down to verse 9. Just verse 1 and 2. I'm just going to jump down to verse 9. And it reads, for evildoers shall be cut off, but those that wait upon the Lord, they shall inherit the earth. Khan. For yet a little while, and the wicked shall be, Salaki. For yet a little while, and the wicked shall not be. Yea, they shall diligently consider his place, and it shall not be. Khan. Let's go jump down to verse 12. And it reads, the wicked plotteth against the just, and gnash upon him with his teeth. Verse 13, the Lord shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming on the doorstep of the wicked. Verse 14, Salaki, the wicked have drawn out the sword, and have bent their bow, to cast down the poor and needy, and to slay such as be of upright conversation. So, you know, the righteousness of what we speak, they don't like. Follow me to 17, verse 17, jump down to verse 17. So luckily, read now from 15. Their sword shall enter into their own heart, and their bows shall be broken. Jumping down to 17, for the arms of the wicked shall be broken, but the Lord upholdeth the righteous. Jump down to verse 20, and it reads, but the wicked shall perish, and the enemies of the Lord shall be as the fat of lambs. They shall consume into smoke, shall they consume away. And let's jump down to Come on. Let's jump down to verse 34 and it reads, wait on the Lord and keep his way, and he shall exhort thee to inherit the land. When the wicked are cut off, thou shalt see it. We are in them times where the wicked are being judged, you know. Hence to these fallen angels that are here on the earth right now, within many, you know, hence to the sin and lawlessness that's increased. Verse 35, I have seen the wicked in great power and spreading himself like a green bay tree, yet he passed away, and lo, he was not. Yea, I sought him, but he could not be found. God. Verse 38, but the transgressors shall be destroyed together, the end of the wicked shall be cut off. You know, and man, one can't wait to see a lot of the wicked get cut off and come to nothing. Let's go to Psalms 35, reading from verse 26. And it reads, let them be ashamed and brought to confusion, together that rejoice at my hurt. Let them be clothed with shame and dishonor that magnify themselves against me. Verse 27, let them shout for joy and be glad that favor my righteous cause. Yea, let them say continually, let the Lord be magnified, which has pleasure in the prosperity of his servant. We are the servants of the Most High. Reading verse 28, and my tongue shall speak of thy righteousness and of thy praise all the day long. And that's what we do here in the Royal House of David. We edify the flock, and we break bread, and we let brotherly love continue. Want to go to the Lost Books. If you follow on to the Lost Books, if any of you have the Lost Books, let's go to the Shepherd of Hermas. The Shepherd of Hermas. Reading verses 11 to 13. The Shepherd of Hermas, chapter 1, verse 11 to 13, and it reads, but as for those, this is for the nation, but as for those who think wickedly in their hearts, they take to themselves death and captivity, and especially those who love this present world and read that again. And especially those who love this present world and glory in their riches and regard not the good things that are to come. Their souls wander up and down and know not where to fix. Verse 12. Now this is the case of such as are double-minded. You know, you can't serve two masters. You're either serving the devil or you're serving the Lord Father. And our big brother, Yahushua, who died for you, but yet your raggedy ass can't live for him. Shame on you. Reading on. Now this, verse 12, now this is the case of such as are double-minded, who trust not in the Lord, and despise and neglect their own life. Read that again. Read that again. Now this is the case of such as are double-minded, who trust not in the Lord, and despise and neglect their own life. 13 and last, but do thou pray unto the Lord, and he will heal thy sins, and the sins of thy whole house, and of all his saints. Come on. Let's go to the book, the Apocrypha, concerning the wicked again. Let's go to Sirach, which is Ecclesiasticus in the book of the Apocrypha. And we're going to go to Sirach 3. That's Ecclesiasticus 3. And we're going to read verses 27 to 28, and it reads, An obstinate heart, stubborn. An obstinate heart shall be laden with sorrows, and the wicked man shall heap sin upon it, sin. Verse 28, In the punishment of the proud there is no remedy, for the plant of wickedness has taken root in him. You know, pure evil. Let's go to chapter 10. Staying in Ecclesiasticus, we're going to go to chapter 10 and we're reading verses 12 to 19. And it reads, The beginning of pride is when one departeth from power. Read that again. The beginning of pride is when one departeth from power, and his heart is turned away from his maker. Wicked. Yahushua died for you, and you can't live for him. And on that note, we'll come back to the Apocrypha. Just want to give a precept. Let's go to Luke. Slaki. We'll come back to the Apocrypha. Let's go to Luke. Luke chapter 27. Slaki, Luke chapter 19, verse 27. Red letter Yahushua is speaking, and it reads, But those my enemies which would not that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay them before me. Come on. Read that again. Red letter Yahushua is speaking. But those my enemies which would not that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay them before me. Gonna come out to the KJV version. And this is on the doorstep of the wicked, of what's coming your way very soon. This is Luke 19. Luke chapter 19. Verse 27. One's going to read from 26, and it reads, Red letter Yahushua speaking. For I say to you that to everyone who has will be given, and from him who does not have, even what he has will be taken away from him. Verse 27 is the meat. But bring here those enemies of mine who did not want me to reign over them, and slay them before me. He died for you. And you're for this devil world of material shit. But what good is this world of materialistic things that rot, that make you feel good in your big house or your luxury car, to sell your own soul? Come. Going back to the Apocrypha, you follow on to chapter 10. One was reading from verse 12. Going to read that again. The beginning of pride is when one departed from power, and his heart is turned away from his maker. 13. For pride is the beginning of sin, and he that has it shall pour out abomination. And therefore the Lord brought upon them strange calamities and overthrew them utterly. Verse 14. The Lord has cast down the thrones of proud princes and set up the meek in their stead. 15. The Lord has plucked up the roots of the proud nations and planted the lowly in their place. Calm. 16. The Lord overthrew countries of the heathen and destroyed them to the foundations of the earth. 17. He took some of them away and destroyed them, and has made their memorial to cease from the earth. 18. Pride was not made for men. Salaki. 18. Pride was not made for men, nor for furious anger for them that are born of a woman. 19. And last, they that fear the Lord are a sure seed, and they that love him are an honorable plant. They that regard not the law are a dishonorable seed. Read that again. They that fear, verse 19, Salaki, they that fear the Lord are a sure seed, and they that love him are an honorable plant. That they, Salaki, they that regard not the law are a dishonorable seed. They that transgress the commandments are a deceivable seed. Come on. Let's go from there to Sirach, Ecclesiasticus 27. And we're going to go to verse 27. Straight down to 28. 30, Salaki. And it reads, He that worketh mischief, it shall fall upon him, and he shall not know whence it cometh. 28. Mockery and reproach are from the proud. Mockery and reproach are from the proud. When they get angry, they want to talk shit and say, you're in a cult. When they get angry, they want to say that you're evil. Motherfucker. Look around you and know what true evil is. Give a definition. You see, the people that kill on the earth, and this is, double honors to the Father, gave us this one. It was a case of those that murder. That's evil. But when our time comes, and when we kill, it's not going to be murder. It's going to be a righteous kill. Them two are different things there. Murder, which is of evil, and righteous kill, which is of the Lord Father. So, mock all you want and chat shit all you want. Reading on verse 28, mockery and reproach are from the proud, but vengeance as a lion shall lie in wait for them. Only a matter of time. Verse 29, they that rejoice at the fall of the righteous shall be taken in the snare, and anguish shall consume them before they die. Verse 30 and last, malice and wrath, even these are an abominations, and the sinful men, Salakia, and the sinful man shall have them both. Oh, praises. I'm going to go from there to Sirach 41. If you follow on to chapter 41, staying in the Apocrypha, Ecclesiasticus chapter 41, and we're reading verses 8 to 10, and it reads, "Woe be unto you, ungodly men, which have forsaken the law of the Most High Power. For if ye increase, it shall be to your destruction. It shall be to your destruction." Verse 9, "And if ye be born, ye shall be born to a curse. And if ye die, a curse shall be your portion. 10 and last, all that are of the earth shall turn to the earth again. So the ungodly shall go from a curse to destruction." And that word there at the beginning, woe. Let's get the definition of woe. Anguish, torment, misery, sorrow, distress, wretchedness, sadness, unhappiness, depression, gloom, adversity, disaster, affliction, suffering, hardship, pain, agony, grief, woe. Strong's definition H188. Oi. Gone. Oi. Definition in the sense of crying out after, lamentation. Also, injectionally, alas, which is woe, and let's quickly go to Revelations 18, chapter 18. That word is the same as woe, alas. So let's go to Revelations 18. I'm going to jump down to verse 9. Let's go, coming out to the King James Version. I'm going to read from verse 9. It's Revelations chapter 18, verse 9, and it reads, "The kings of the earth who committed fornication and lived luxuriously with her will weep and lament for her when they see the smoke of her burning, Babylon." Verse 10, "Standing at a distance for fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, the mighty city, for in 1 hour your judgment has come." And one's going to go from there to, it's not just, the wickedness of what's on your doorstep isn't just for these fallen nations. It's on the doorstep of the 2/3 of our own nation of people also. And let's go to the book of Enoch. But before we go to the book of Enoch, just want to say that judgment also on the doorstep of the wicked 2/3 women, pursuant to Isaiah 3. Isaiah 3 verse 16 to 26, and again These wicked men that want to go out there like the gods, getting these women pregnant and not taking responsibility. You know, that you see as mighty men. You go read that passage there, because they will be killed instantly when that time comes. Isaiah chapter 3, verse 16 to 26. Let's go to the book of Enoch. And we're going to go to chapter 99 concerning woe. Come. This is the book of Enoch, chapter 99, reading from verse 1, and it reads, Woe to you who work godlessness and glory in lying and extol them. Ye shall perish, and no happy life shall be yours. Verse 2, Woe to them who pervert the words of uprightness. So when we speak of what our forefathers have taught us through the power and our master of our beloved big brother Yahushua, all praises due, for what we have been taught, and they are telling us to teach you and show you. You rebel against, and you mock, and you have talk against. But woe unto you. Verse 2, Woe to them who pervert the words of uprightness and transgress the eternal law, and transform themselves into what they were not, in brackets, into sinners. They shall be trodden under foot upon the earth. They shall be trodden underfoot upon the earth. You know, and let's quickly go to Baruch in the Apocrypha, chapter 4. This is Baruch chapter 4, verse 25, and it reads, My children, suffer patiently the wrath that is come upon you from power. For thine enemy has persecuted thee, but shortly thou shalt see his destruction. But shortly thou shalt see his destruction. You know, as it said in Psalms 37, when the wicked shall be cut off, thou shalt see it. Read that again. My children, Baruch chapter 4, verse coming out to Apocrypha, verse 25. My children, suffer patiently the wrath that is come upon you from power. For thine enemy has persecuted thee, but shortly thou shalt see his destruction, and shall tread upon his neck. All praises. Going back to the book of Enoch, reading from verse 3, and chapter 99, verse 3, and it reads, In those days make ready, ye righteous, to raise your prayers as a memorial, and place them as a testimony before the angels, that they may place the sin of the sinners for a memorial before the Most High. In those days the nations shall be stirred up, and the families of the nations shall rise on the day of destruction. You know. Reading on. And in those days the destitute shall go forth and carry off their children, and they shall abandon them, so that their children shall perish through them. Don't we see that today? Yea, they shall abandon their children. Didn't one show you that? Didn't one show you videos of women abandoning their children just to go to the nightclub, just to have or rifle off a man down the street? Unjust, unrighteous, contaminated filth. And in those days, verse 5, and in those days the destitute shall go forth and carry off their children, and they shall abandon them, so that their children shall perish through them. Yea, they shall abandon their children that are still sucklings. Didn't we see that little baby in the street that the police had picked up that was in nappies, that looked like was 14 months old, just over 2 years? And not return to them? Social services have got them. And shall have no pity on their beloved ones. Verse 6, and again I swear to you, ye sinners, that sin is prepared for a day of unceasing bloodshed. Verse 7, and they who worship stones and grave images of God, Salaki, and they who worship stones and grave images of gold and silver and wood and stone and clay, and those who worship impure spirits and demons and all kinds of idols, not according to knowledge, shall get no manner of help from them. Pursuing to Isaiah 3, no help is going to come for you, and your mighty men shall be cut down, and no one's coming to help you, Reading on, and they shall become godless by reason of the folly of their hearts, and their eyes shall be blinded through the fear of their hearts, and through visions in their dreams. Verse 9, through these they shall become godless and fearful, for they shall have wrought all their work in a lie. And many are waking up that everything is a lie, and shall have wisdom, Salakia, and shall have worshipped a stone. Therefore, in an instant shall they perish. Verse 10, but in those days blessed are all the Salakia, but in those days blessed are all they who accept the words of wisdom and understand them, and observe the paths of the Most High, and walk in the paths of his righteousness, and become not godless with the godless, for they shall be saved. Verse 11, woe to you who spread evil to your neighbors, for you shall be slain to Sheol. Verse 12, woe to you who make deceitful and false measures, and to them who cause bitterness on the earth, for they shall thereby be utterly consumed. Verse 13, woe to you who build your houses through the grievous toll of others. I'm going to stop there. Come on. Woe to you who build your houses through the grievous toll of others, and all their building materials are the bricks and stones of sin. I tell you, you shall have no peace. Khan. I'm going to go from them, we're going to come back to the book of Enoch, and we're going to go to a precept for that in Habakkuk chapter 2. If you follow on to Habakkuk chapter 2. Khan. Gonna read from verse 9, and it reads, Woe to him that coveteth an evil covetousness to his house, that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil. Khan. And one's going to go from there to the KJV version. We'll go to the NLT, but it's on the phone that one's recording off just now. So coming out of the King James version. You follow on to Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 9, and it reads, Woe to him who covets evil gain for his house. Read that again. Woe to him who covets evil gain for his house, that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of disaster. Reading on, verse 10, You give shameful counsel to your house, cutting off many peoples, and sin against your soul. Verse 11 and last, For the stone will cry out from the wall, and the beam from the timbers will answer it. Reading on, Woe to him who builds a town with bloodshed, who establishes a city by iniquity. Calm. Let's go back to the book of Enoch. Reading on. Woe to you who build your houses through the grievous toils of others, and all their building materials are the bricks and stones of sin. I tell you, yea, shall not have no peace. Verse 14. Woe to them who reject the measure and eternal heritage of their fathers, and whose souls follow after idols, for they shall have no rest. 15. Woe to them who walk unrighteousness. So woe to them who work unrighteousness and help oppression. And that's what one sees a lot in this day of evil. You can be on your arse, you can be going through the most affliction, yet those who you think are for you are not for you, but want to add to your affliction. These are those, as well as our adversaries of the fallen nations. Woe to them who work on righteousness and help oppression. Let's go from there to Zechariah chapter 1, verse 15, because that's what they're doing. They're just forwarding affliction. Zechariah chapter 1, reading verse 15 out of the Blue Letter Bible. And it reads, And I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease. I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease. And many of you crackers at ease. For I was but a little displeased, and they helped forward affliction. Verse 15, Woe to them who work unrighteousness and help oppression, and slay their neighbors until the day of great judgment. 16, for he shall cast down your glory and bring affliction on your hearts, and shall arouse, and shall arouse his fierce indignation and destroy you all with the sword. And all the holy and righteous shall remember your sins. Going to reading on chapter 100 of the book of Enoch. The sinners destroy each other, judgment on the fallen angels, the safety of the righteous, further woes for the sinners. Because this is the time and era that we're in. The book of Enoch, chapter 100, verse 1, and it reads, and in those days, in one place, the fathers together with their sons shall be smitten, and brothers one with another shall fall in death. Didn't one tell you this? Till the streams flow with their blood. Verse 2, for a man shall not withhold his hand from slaying his sons and his sons' sons, and the sinner shall not withhold his hand from his honored brother. From dawn to sunset they shall slay one another. Verse 3, and the horse shall walk up to the breast in blood of sinners, and the chariot shall be submerged to its height. Verse 4, in those days the angels shall descend into the secret places and gather together into one place all those who brought down sin. You hear that there? And in those days the angels shall descend into the secret places and gather together into one place all those who brought down sin. And the Most High will arise on that day of judgment to execute judgment amongst sinners. I'm going to leave there and come back to the book of Enoch, and we're going to go to Micah chapter 5. Follow on to Micah chapter 5. Not going to read the whole of it, but if you follow on to verse 1's going to read from verse 9, and it reads, thy hand shall be lifted up upon thy adversaries, and all thine enemies shall be cut off. And it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord, that I will cut off thy horses out of the midst of thee, and I will destroy thy chariots. And I will cut off the cities of thy land, and throw down all thy strongholds. Verse 12, and I will cut off witchcrafts out of thy hand, and thou shalt not have no more soothsayers. Verse 13, thy graven images also will I cut off, and thy standing images out of the midst of thee, and thou shalt no more worship the work of thy hands. 14, and I will pluck up the groves out of the midst of thee, so will I destroy thy cities. 15 and last, and I will execute vengeance in anger and fury upon the heathen, such as they have not heard. And just want to read and end and close out with Luke. No one's brought it out, just want to bring it out one more time. Just want to bring out Luke chapter 19, reading verse 27. Red letter Yahushua speaking. One's going to read from verse 26 to 27. It reads, for I say unto you that unto everyone which has shall be given, and from him that has not, even that he has shall be taken away from him. Verse 27, but those enemies Salaki, but those mine enemies, which would not that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay them before me. I can't wait for that day to come. You know, but hope you were edified, and love you Taze Yawan. Shalom Israel. Peace and blessings. Shalom.